there, military real estate investors. Mark Yancich here again, and I wanted to talk about a really cool way to get your foot in the door in real estate, and primarily rental, because the best way to get into the real estate game as a military family or a veteran family is to buy a home with a VA loan, and specifically house hack that home by renting out the other rooms or units, and probably getting a fourplex if you can. I mean, can you imagine getting a little mini apartment complex with 4 homes in it, right? Like that's potentially a multi-million-dollar property that you can buy with a VA loan, 0% down, and have other people pay the debt for you, right? That is the best way to get your foot in the door. But another way to get started or to accelerate the growth of your portfolio is through turnkey rental properties. And this is a fantastic strategy for military members who are busy. Like they may be, your active duty job is still completely occupying your time, and that is what you love doing, and that's what you want to continue doing. Or maybe you have already transitioned and you have a very high-paced W-2 job, and you're like, hey, I don't necessarily want to invest in the stock market anymore. It's tumbling here and there, and all these different stock tickers are going crazy, especially with the interest rates. The capital markets are going bananas. I don't know what to rely on anymore, and I want to grow something steadily over time, and I want to do it relatively passively, and I want it to also produce me more income every single month, not just value for when I'm ready to retire. I want to actually create more income every single month so that my lifestyle can be better. Well, turnkey rental properties is a great solution. Again, what are turnkey rentals? So turnkey rentals are a fantastic thing because you don't have to actually do any of the renovations. Like it took me forever to figure out how to do screw anchors into the wall and put shelves on. And my wife was laughing at me the whole time I was doing that. In San Diego, when we first started living together in our own apartment, it was a disaster. I am not good at being a handyman. I'm not good at any of that kind of stuff. So can you imagine me trying to renovate a home? Some of you are probably amazing at that, and congratulations. You probably have a lot of abilities to create more equity in your home, like sweat equity. That was just not for me. So turnkeys is where somebody else is a professional at renovating homes. They find the ugly house on the block, the ugliest home in the nicest neighborhood, or just a home that is just, for whatever reason, maybe hoarders were living in there, or it was not taken care of, or whatever was going on. They get it at a discount, like a steep discount, maybe 60, 70% of its actual value. And then they pump a bunch of money into it and renovate it nicely and make it perfect for a tenant, like somebody that wants to live there, for a year or 2 or 3. And then they find a property manager, and then that professional hands it off to you, the happy customer that now gets a bite-sized, wonderful little 3-bedroom, 2-bath in, I don't know, maybe Indianapolis or somewhere in middle of America, where the rent to price ratio is good because you're going to cash flow every single month, and you now have this wonderful asset, something that's, again, making you money every single month. A couple $100 here and there isn't bad because that can pay your bills, maybe your phone bill, your internet bill, all that kind of stuff. It makes your lifestyle better. Oh, and by the way, somebody's paying down the debt, so your net worth is growing every single month and is appreciating in value over time. I mean, you can't beat that. And what if you have a bunch of these? What if you have 10 of these and they're all paying you $300, $400, $500? That's $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 every single month, mailbox money. And it could be completely tax-free or at least tax-deferred for a long time. And then you can, as some of my other videos talk about, you can do 1031 exchanges. You can cash out refinance to get more capital that's tax-free. You can do all sorts of cool strategies that we teach at Active Duty Passive Income to continue growing your wealth. But it's just such a great way to scale and to acquire more assets while you're still busy doing your W-2, your active duty job, right? It's one of the most unbeatable ways to get started. And we have a great contact and partner at Active Duty Passive Income called Rent to Retirement. So if you go to activedutypassiveincome.com/resources, there's an awesome section there where it will connect you to Rent to Retirement, where we will be in your corner as you're going through the process. We'll make sure that you get connected to the right lender and that you work with them in a tight way to close on these rentals. And oh, and by the way, you can use what's called cash flow loans, where your debt to income ratio won't be affected. Your income will not be required to qualify for the loan. Basically, the property's ability to produce income will be what qualifies for the loan. And it's really that easy, as long as you have the money. And if you don't, maybe you can partner with somebody and really get your portfolio kicked into gear and eventually maybe even make your military retirement or your future pensions or whatever pale in comparison. The cash flow could really be pretty fantastic. Here's one more thing that's super cool about turnkeys, or really any rental property that you buy in a good market, is year after year, because of inflation, but also because if it's in a good market, hopefully the job and population growth is steady, guess what? Your rents are going to go up every single month. And your expenses, especially the principal and interest on the loan, is fixed. The expenses, not all of them are fixed. Some of them will grow over time, but the principal and interest is fixed over 30 years if you get a 30-year loan. So when you increase your rents every single year, for example, let's say by $100, most of that trickles down to your pocket. And so can you imagine every single year increasing your cash flow? Let's say it started off as $300 a month, then turned into $400 a month, then $500 a month, then $600. You see where I'm going with this. If you had 10 of those properties, you're basically giving yourself like $1,000 raise every single year. I mean, that is better than any military pension I can think of. Growing by $1,000, that's awesome. And what if you had 20 of these, right? You see where I'm going with this. This is the power of real estate. And that is why I believe every single military member should buy real estate while they're in the military. It is a fantastic way to grow your wealth, pass it down for generations, and make your lifestyle better. If you want to learn more about this, go to activedutypassiveincome.com. I'll see you later.